Hi everyone, so I'm doing another unboxing. This time it's for this Marvel Select or Diamond Select Amazing Spider-Man 2 action figure. So this is based on the Andrew Garfield movie from 2014. So that makes this box about 8 years old. As you can see, there's already some dent, but it's not opened yet. It's not a full box, but on the side you can see that the card goes around the plastic with this nice movie poster picture. Then on the back you get a bigger picture of Spider-Man with the movie synopsis at the bottom. It also tells us that this has 16 points of articulation and that it's a 7-inch figure. I think Marvel Select is known for making figures that are a bit too big compared to other figures. And for comparison, this is what that looks like side by side with the Marvel Legends integrated suit. Tom Holland is shorter than Andrew, but I'm sure the actual height difference isn't in proportion to what you see here. I like the look of this packaging though. I think it's an amazing way to showcase the figure. And this is, by the way, a knockoff version of the figure. But I got it anyway because these are rare now, especially this one that comes with the Firefighter props. The downside to this kind of packaging though is that it's sealed to the card, forcing you to break something just to open it, unlike if you have a box that you can just close or open anytime. So I had to figure out a special way to open this without destroying the card or making any obvious openings. So I start doing that by opening this side here, which reveals a tape. I don't know if that's originally there or just added by the seller, but once you get that tape off, you also see these two locks that let you snap the card back into place. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to create an opening on this side so that I can open the plastic without ripping the card off. Also being careful not to cut the plastic shell inside at the same time. So I first cut horizontally across this side, and then I made two vertical cuts at the top and at the bottom. And once you're done making that clean cut, you can now open this flap up.
No. Oh, nice.
First look of it outside the packaging, there's no noticeable issues or indicators that this is a knockoff. I think it looks great. Notice that the plastic isn't a tight fit around the figure, unlike what we've seen with the newer Marvel Legends figures. This one uses wires to clamp the figure into place.
So I'll start by removing these wires. Okay, so I'm looking Spidey.
First thing I noticed taking this out is that on his right leg, it looks like there are some scratches or faded blue paint. It is an old figure, so it might have just faded over time. In terms of design accuracy, I think it's pretty close to the movie. The web lines aren't well painted in though, so you can see this clearly on his face. The web lines are embossed properly and centered, but the black fill for the lines aren't always aligned. The head shape is also a bit off. It's a little too long vertically, almost making it look like an alien head. I think that can be easily fixed by shaving off some of the plastic from his chin. Also looks like he needs some more neck, which can be fixed by loosening and pulling that head up a bit. It also nicely captures the spider symbol on his chest, although the lower feet somewhat blends into the web lines. In terms of articulation, you can quickly see that there's virtually no ab crunch on this figure. You're gonna have to make some customizations for that, but you can turn it around sideways 360 degrees. The head also has limited movement. You can also turn it side to side 360 degrees, but if you want him to look up and down, you have to loosen the head a bit first. The shoulder also has limited movement, so it can go around this way, can make it go up and down but not all the way up. As you can see that there's no separate joint for the shoulder. The elbow moves in and out and can also twist around. The wrist can turn depending on which hand accessory you're using, which we'll check out later. On his arm, you can see the embossed web shooter, which is odd because for most poses that he'll be doing, it wouldn't align properly with his hand. You can also see more of that faded blue on this arm. Moving on, you'll see that his waist is connected to his body. There's no pelvic joint, which is really disappointing together with the lack of the ab crunch. However, the legs give you a good range of motion. You can twist the thighs around, you can rotate it, you can open it all the way to the sides, you can bend the knees, and you also get this nice double joints on the knees. His feet can tilt up or down and side to side. Another detail I notice here is that there are markings under his foot, and again I can't tell the difference between this bootleg and an authentic one. This set oddly also comes with this card that says Marvel licensed product, which just makes me even more confused. Not sure if that contributes anyhow to the authenticity of this figure, but inside is just a catalog of the other figures from Diamond Select, plus some Lego-like figures or miniatures. If this is somehow proof that this is legit, please let me know. Now onto the accessories. First you get this fire hose nozzle, which has a rotating handle, and that comes with a matching hand accessory that can hold it, and this Firefighter hat. I put it on the wrong way here, but you get the idea. This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie when he fights Electro, so that's a really big plus for me. Now for the hand accessories, of course you get these web shooter hands. Each hand comes with a web that's plugged into his wrist. This is also removable. You need to be careful when switching out these hands though. Just after a few days I broke the peg on one of these web shooting hands. I guess that confirms that this is indeed a knockoff figure. This also comes with two long web lines which clip on to each other, while the other end of the web line fits into his hand. His hands are not evenly open, so this is as far as you can get with the right hand. Meanwhile on the left hand you get a good enough grip, and that can go as far as you want it to. Lastly, let's have a look at all those hand accessories, starting with the web shooting hand. As I mentioned, each of these have different kind of joints. This one doesn't have any sort of hinge, so you can turn it around, you can tilt it, shake it a bit, but that's all the movement you're gonna get from this hand. Next we have closed fists or punching hands. This one has a hinge along that axis so it can tilt up or down. And then another pair of closed fists but with the thumbs up. Unlike the other one, the hinges on this one let you tilt it sideways. And then we have the gripping hands. Another pair of closed fists but with some space inside to hold things. As I mentioned, the left hand opens wider so that it can hold the fire hose prop. This also has hinges that allow it to turn sideways. Lastly, we have the web crawling hands with the hinges that let it tilt up and down. And after all of that, it's finally time to see this figure do some amazing poses. It's been almost a month since this arrived, and I have since made some modifications to it. I've repainted the blues, hence the blue paint on my fingers in some of the previous close-up shots. I trimmed down his chin a little bit, and I made some space for a bit of ab crunch. So now he poses like this. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.